Feeling tired of gymnastics even though you used to love it? Do you feel like you want to quit, stop, and you've just lost all enjoyment of the sport that you used to love and cherish so dearly? This is normal, but good news, we can get you back. We're going to get you back to loving, enjoying the sport of gymnastics in just a few easy, simple steps. In this video, we're going to look at why and how this can happen, how to avoid it, and most importantly, how you can get back to absolutely smashing and enjoying every second of your gymnastics journey. For those of you new around here, hi, I'm Joe. I'm a Team GB gymnast, two-time European medalist, and you may have recently seen me on your television screens as I claimed glory in BBC One's Gladiators television show. I've been a gymnast and been in the sport for a very, very long time now. And throughout the years in my career, I have had many of these similar feelings that maybe you're experiencing right now. It's normal, and I really want to help provide a little bit of value to maybe how I dealt with them, how I saw them, and most importantly, how I got back to loving and enjoying the sport, which is the key if you are looking to have a longevous career in the sport. These tips and tips like these are just a few of the ones I give away in the gymnastics performance course for absolutely free. I'll leave a link down below. This is going to help improve your gymnastic performance, challenge things like mental considerations, training in and out of the gym, strength and conditioning, and all of those good bits. I'll leave a link down below, but don't get distracted. We need to crack on. And firstly, we need to look at why you may feel like quitting or leaving the sport. Firstly, you may be experiencing burnout. Now, burnout is something you're going to have to come to terms with because you are going to feel it throughout your gymnastics career. And then when you get into later life, you're also going to experience it there. So if you can get a handle on it now and acknowledge it, you will absolutely fly and learn how to manage it. Mental signs of burnout are the obvious: feeling tired, feeling frustrated, angry, or maybe you're not looking forward to or even dreading training or comps. As we move on to physical signs of burnout, again, can be that physical tiredness. You may have aches excessively, pains, soreness, although you have to be careful because it could be an injury you're kind of masking here. And just overall, you are not looking forward to training, pushing yourself, and you feel like you've lost that spark. You may also be experiencing a lack of sleep, energy, and enjoyment. Burnout can happen, and I think a lot of it has to come down to the repetitive nature that gymnastics and performing at a high level requires in this sport. It can also happen because maybe you're training too much, so you're overtraining, spending too many hours in the gym. You don't have other aspects in your life to try and balance out that. I was really lucky because I was performing rugby at a high level alongside gymnastics, so I feel like I had a good balance, and maybe one day gymnastics was going bad, I could go and throw a rugby ball about, and vice versa. There could be too much pressure. Gymnastics is a high pressured sport and environment. You may be feeling it. You might be putting it on yourself. You might be feeling it from parents or guardians or even your coaches, and sometimes that pressure can get to you. We've been there. I know how you feel. Sometimes it's also easy to lose the fun in gymnastics, and this is one of the number one reasons why burnout happens. I see it with gymnasts all the time. You can get in this rhythm, and even as a coach, sometimes you forget that the reason why we do this sport, it's fun. You can get caught up in trying to get the next medal or the achievement, so make sure you don't make that mistake. And even if you're preparing for a really big competition, you need to try and enjoy or find bits you enjoy along the way, because like I always say, the journey is the best part. Another thing that can cause burnout is constantly comparing yourself to others. If you're that gymnast in the gym who thinks, right, look at that person in my group, or look at that person over there, they can do this skill, they can do that skill, and you're constantly sat there or flipping there, comparing yourself, this can cause you to, again, have that pressure and then lead to you feeling burnt out and done completely, and that is not what you want. Gymnastics has a journey for all of us. Everyone has their own journey. My journey to attaining certain skills is different to yours. Your journey is different to mine, and we cannot compare our stories. Now, before we move on to point 3, let me tell you about point 2. And this is an important one. Point 2, performance pressure or fear of failure. Now, in gymnastics, we are executed heavily for how neat a skill is. And the nature of the sport is everything needs to be perfect. It needs to look a certain way. This is how it needs to be performed. Although sometimes you can put your own flair on it. You are deducted if your skill is not perfect. Now, this is great, but if you're constantly trying to be perfect or expect your training skills, everything to be perfect, you could end up feeling really, really like you want to stop the sport. When you try to do everything perfect and that's your bar or your standard, one little mistake can feel like complete failure. Gymnasts, we can be scared to try new skills, scared of hurting yourself, scared of failing, scared of getting laughed at. It's like life. Trying something new or something unknown can be terrifying, and that's where bravery really comes in. But the job of the preparations is to prepare you to get to that point, and then all the other aspects like the coaching, help, spotting, safely, all of these things are going to try and help overcome that. But it's super important you acknowledge that it's normal to feel scared sometimes. You're not doing something normal like walking. You're maybe flipping 1, 2, 3 times, maybe twisting, trying to land, and doing it all with straight legs, toes pointed, all of those things. This can happen, again, from those pressure sources. Maybe it's yourself, maybe you expect to hit a certain score at competition, maybe it's your coaches. Again, their job, and it's easy to get caught up in, is to make you the best gymnast possible while you also enjoy the sport. And sometimes they're going to tell you the feedback that's going to make that better. And it's so important it's done in the right way. And sometimes it happens, it can be interpreted wrong. All of these things can cause it. You may also feel the pressure from your parents or guardians. They want you to do well, and sometimes they're going to be pushing you. And if you interpret that wrong, or you interpret on a bad day, that could cause you to feel worried about failing. The whole sport is about learning to fail, learning from your failures, and then maybe getting something right every now and again. And then once you've consolidated something, moving on to something even harder, failing a lot of times again to get there. So you've got to learn to fail. It can also happen if you are tying your success to a certain goal or achievement or a medal. I've spoke about this loads before, so we won't go into it, but you need to make sure that your measure of success isn't the end goal. Have some dotted along the way on your journey, and remember to enjoy every moment. Before I tell you how to fix this and give you all the solutions, I need to tell you about the final point to why you may be feeling like quitting the sport. Point 3, because of your environment. Now, environment plays such a key role in your gymnastics journey, and environments for training may look different to all of us, but your environment may be playing a part in why you aren't not enjoying your gymnastics currently, previously, or in the future. You may be training alongside someone, a group of people who are feeling negative constantly, or they moan, they complain a lot of the time, and that energy will come to you as well. You will suck that energy out of them, and you will start embodying it and doing what they're doing and feeling negative and complaining. Think about time. It's so easy as a human. We complain all the time. I do it myself. Sometimes I'll be around a few people, I'll start complaining, they start complaining, and currently you're having a little bit of a little natter and complain. And sometimes that's because of your environment. Change can be really hard, but sometimes it can be really necessary. And it might not be just them, it might be your coaches, maybe your coaches, or you don't bond with your coach, and that means you don't enjoy training. They're not someone you really ultimately respect. They're not somebody who you really kind of want to coach you, all of these things. And that can be normal too. From the coach's side, not everybody is going to get on perfectly. I mean, I've had so many coaches over the years. All have been incredibly useful, knowledgeable, and I'm not going to say that I've enjoyed working with every single one of them exactly the same, because that's not how it works. It can be like this. Your environment could be the very thing that is causing this. It could be a training structure. There's so many kind of things and aspects here, but maybe have a look inside. How do you feel when you're there? How does it look from the outside? All of these different things, and see if you could change it, or maybe that is why you want to stop the sport completely. This can see a drop in confidence, your enjoyment of training, and make you want to leave. And that is exactly the opposite of what you want. Now we've complained and got it all out there, I'm going to teach you how to fall back in love with that sport that once made you jump for joy as you stepped into the gym. Take a break, have a rest, have a week off, have a session off, have a month off. Whatever you feel like you need, take a break. I'm telling you right now, it might be you're in the build-up to a really important competition. But what's more important for you, for the sport, for everybody, for your coaches, for everybody, is that you're in the sport for longer. That makes it better for all of us, okay? So if you feel like you need a little bit of time off, time in the sun, time doing a different sport, time with your mates, whatever you feel like, that little saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, apply it to sport, gymnastics, yeah? I know I'm currently not training in gymnastics, and I get a little bit of an urge to go and have a flip, and I'll go and, do you know what I mean, do some handstands or something in the gym, whatever it is. Sometimes that can fix a lot of things. Also, along this, we'll tie it in with this, have a look at your sleep routine. Have a look at, maybe you're just doing too much. I do this all the time myself, and sometimes I'll start at the top and I'll be like, oh, the first thing I notice is my sleep's been disturbed or whatever, disrupted. And that can sometimes put us in a massive negative spiral. So maybe have a look there. Have you been sleeping well? How's your routine? How's your nutrition? All these things. But most importantly, take the time you feel like you need, and that might slowly start to restore your love for the sport. Point 2, which is going to make you fall head over heels back in love with the sport. Reintroduce fun into training. Now, this is so obvious, but if you're a competitive gymnast, have a little think back to when you last had fun, did a game, all of these things within your training. It's easy to fall into a trap of not doing that. Coaches, gymnasts, parents, whatever. I want you to introduce a bit of fun. Couldn't you have a certain challenge, whether it's a stick it challenge, whether there's a prize on the line, whether it's just a session, whether it's a parents, guardians session, whatever it is, what can you do that makes you kind of look forward to going? And you never know, it might just spark you off again, it might get you going, might get you back in the sport, get you involved in what you are doing. At Sports Club Newcastle, my gymnastics club, we always say fun is the first skill we teach, and it's so important, okay? Like, the only reason I stayed in the sport was because I enjoyed doing it. Not all the time, but for that 70-80% of the time, I enjoyed it. Now, the first time I got into the national team, I was 17 years of age. That is old for a gymnast. Now, I see kids that leave at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all these ages. If I'd have done that, I wouldn't be sat here talking to you today. I wouldn't have got the medals. I wouldn't have any of these achievements that have got me to where I am now. And sometimes you need to look at why you stay in something. And fun, that is why we all started the sport in the first place. Reintroduce fun into your training and celebrate progress, not just big wins. Point 3, change your goals. Shift your focus, whatever you want to call it. Have a look at what you want to achieve in the sport. Are you just going for a medal, an Olympic medal, a European medal, a world medal, a national title, a regional medal, whatever it is? Is that your goal? Because you need to shift that focus to, am I better than yesterday? Not, am I better than everybody else? Because I'm telling you, I've seen so many gymnasts throughout the years that have that mindset of, oh, well, I'm the best. And even if they go and win everything, they just stop and do something else because they're bored. And I'm sat here saying, looking back on my career, I can genuinely tell you that the most enjoyable part was the challenges, the struggles, the ups and the downs, and enjoying every second. So change your goals to, okay, I'm working on this skill. I want to get this certain skill. I want to get this certain bit. I want to be able to, I don't know, do all of my strength and conditioning training. I want to improve there. And I mean, be rude not to give a plug. So if you want a little bit of strength and conditioning training, we've got a full course on it. I'll drop a little link down below underneath the tips, obviously, and we can get you on there and start improving your performance through strength and conditioning and mindset work, all of these things, but don't get distracted just yet. There's another point to go. Create those personal goals that are unrelated to medals or competitive success, and you may start to enjoy the sport again. And our final point to help you enjoy the sport again is to talk it out. As a man, I know just how hard it is sometimes to express how you feel, show emotion, and talk about your problems or struggles. But I'm telling you, it may not be to your coach or your parent, maybe to a mate, whoever it is, tell them how you are feeling. If any of the gymnasts spoke to me, or if a coach spoke to me about how they weren't enjoying training or whatever, I would look at a solution. And it's the same with your parents. They may be pushing you really hard, but if you tell them, look, I'm really struggling and I really don't feel like doing it, they'll often sit back and go, okay, well, how can we work on this? What can we do? And this is it, because we all want, you guys as gymnasts or parents, we want our people in the sport for longer, because again, that benefits everybody. Little reminder that asking for help shows strength, not weakness. It's okay to need a break. It's okay to change your approach. But remember, gymnastics is a journey and you deserve to enjoy it. If you want more free tips, I'll leave a link below to get 30 on my free gymnastics Improve Your Performance course. Click the link, sign up, and you can access tips like this, tips on mental blocks, struggles, all of these things that are going to help improve your performance as a gymnast. And if you're loving the sport, everything about training, you're super fired up at the minute, watch this video here. It's going to show you exactly how you can be the most coachable gymnast possible. See you in a bit.